the sunshine, you know? We had it for like 2 seconds. I like the rain, I want to feel it for just a few minutes, but then go bye-bye.
We had a little bit of warm weather and then it got chilly
It
again.
got chilly.
Yeah.
And of course, my daughter's turning 25, and she's so excited. She's going to California. She couldn't wait to go to the beach and da-da-da. The weather has totally changed on her, so she does, I don't want to have to wear jeans and a sweater. Anyway, I'll talk to you about
I
it.
lived in California and they called it
And
May
changes.
Gray, June Gloom.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
we get, you know, just when it gets nice everywhere else, California gets all cold.
Here we go.
Oh, I don't have my headphones.
And I'm having like the Don't worry about that. Welcome to the show, everyone. Oh my God, it's a little chilly out there. Kind of exciting about all that. We might even have a little rain later on, but we're networking here in the studio, and I have a guest that's been on with me now several times. I have with me Anna von Straussenburg. She's the owner of Anna von Straussenburg CPA. Welcome back to the show. Before we got on the air today, you told me that there's a lot of exciting things. Can you imagine a CPA saying, there's a lot of exciting things going on right now? Tell everybody a little bit about yourself for people who haven't heard about you and what you do.
Okay, well, I started in the business, about 30 years ago. Actually started off on the bottom rung as a receptionist, and I decided I wanted to become an accountant. I went back to school, and I became a CPA. And then when I moved to Arizona, I had the wonderful opportunity to get a job in a good company. And that owner was kind of looking at retirement, and so he decided to offer the business to me after a few years.
That doesn't happen all the
Yeah.
time. I think I love your story. That's so
Yeah.
neat. Go ahead.
And he's just totally my mentor. And I get excited about taxes and tax law changes because it keeps my life interesting. So
Yours and everyone else's, especially when we have to pay them, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Now let's talk a little bit, because today you said there's some very important things that you wanted to talk about that are really important for people to know. And one of them you said was the number one thing that you wanted to talk about was that May 17th is the extended due date now for taxes. But there's some little things in there that go along with that. It's exciting, but maybe not as exciting as you think.
Well, one of the things you have to realize, if you're subject to paying estimated taxes, those are still, the first quarter is still due April 15th. They haven't changed it yet. Now, last year they did extend that out. So, but just so that people don't get a gotcha, keep listening and find out more information. But right now, it's April 15th is your first estimated tax payment.
And she'll be back on the show on April 1st, and we're going to
Yeah.
be talking about it again then. Because, you know, people, you got to know, and this is what the show is so great about. It's all this information for people. And when you hear something like this, you may not realize that you just learned something, right?
Right, yeah.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about some things that you said that was also important before we go on with that. Because there are things that they need to know that they need to take care of, right? Which is what?
Well, they need to take care of how to calculate the estimated tax. Now, one of the easiest ways to avoid a penalty is to pay in 100% of your tax due from the previous year. But the quirky problem is you may have not had your taxes done yet or done your taxes. So, but try to estimate it based on what you think you would owe your total tax liability for 2020, so that you're paying in to 2021 100%, or if you're over $150,000, 110%.
Well, one thing I like about your firm that you do, and this is what people need to know. First of all, there's no guessing with
No.
you, right? They
No.
know exactly what they need, because quarterly you look at things 3 times a year, right?
That's right.
I'm remembering the things that you said.
Yeah.
And so let's talk a little bit about that, because that's what makes you different right there.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, for most of my clients are business owners, small business owners, and what we try to do is look at their businesses at least 3 times a year. We look at it mid-year, about June or July, and all the way through June. We try to figure out what their trend is and do any small minor adjustments then. That's just a kind of a quick look at it. But the big time we look at the books is in November all the way through October 31st, and we try to project the taxes for the last couple of months. We get some partial information for the last couple of months of the year, but the business owners have a pretty good idea how busy they're going to be. And so then we know what their approximate tax liability is going to be. They can make little adjustments. Do we need to make more income, less income, buy some assets to get deductions? What do we do? And then of course, when we, at tax time, again, we look at the books and we finalize all the information that we projected and give them accurate numbers. And that way we can also give them numbers for their estimated taxes as individuals.
Right, so they're prepared. They
They're
already
prepared.
really know. Now, when you work with people, you work nationwide.
I do.
And you do free consultations. She's rated with the Better Business Bureau. You can check her out on her websites. It's Arizona CPAs with an S.com. You can also call her. Her phone number is 480-964-4030. You're also a QuickBook Advisors Pro. And you've been doing it for years, like 17 years. We are going to open up the lines of the audience if it's okay with you. I want to offer that for everybody. Everyone's going to get entered into win. Now, what this is, it's a consultation with her, and also to not only learn how to use the QuickBooks, but believe me, if you think you know, you don't. You don't know, because a lot of people make mistakes. You said that you see it all the time, and she's a pro at it, and she's been doing it for 17 years. So she'll come in, she'll take a look at it for you, fix your mistakes, because most than likely you're going to have them. And of course, you're going to get that consultation with her as well. So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. And I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. You're an expert at what you do, and you are, what I know about you the most is that you're all about your excellence in how you, take care of your clients and the work that you do. I want to let you go expand on that.
Okay. With QuickBooks, one thing we'd like to do is look at which is the best way to use the QuickBooks. There are many ways you can use it, and sometimes if businesses need a lot of detail, we can help them use items rather than just going to different chart of accounts, because they can get some enhanced reports.
See,
So,
I bet you didn't know that.
yeah. A little tip.
Little tip, I
Yeah.
love that. And that's the thing, is there's so many different things that you can do with this. And if you don't really know, and most of us don't, we just go ahead and put the program in and start just making sure we put our numbers in, which you said a lot of them are wrong as well.
That's
right?
true.
And so that's what she does. She helps out with that. We've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win. This is it's a consultation with her along with the QuickBooks. This is a tutorial that you're going to also get from her. And that's going to be incredible. 602-277-5369. I want to go back before we go to a break. Something else that you said that was important for people was the unemployment and this new $10,200 exclusion from income taxes with people with that. Let's talk about that real quick.
Okay, well, that's important for people because they can exclude that from their income, but there's a little bit of a gotcha, is the state hasn't decided what they're going to do, as are most
Can't they get these things together and figure it all out at one time?
So that's why you have to keep listening to the show, because hopefully the state of Arizona will make a decision on whether that's excluded for Arizona purposes. So a lot of my colleagues are holding their clients' tax returns pending the pending their decision on that exclusion,
So getting extensions.
getting extensions.
Okay, and you know what? A lot of people get extensions anyway. A lot of times people try and do their taxes on their own. It sounds like this year in particular, of all the years, really, maybe not a good idea.
There's a lot of complications in the tax returns this year, and the changes keep coming fast and furious.
Yeah, so it's really important for people to be up on all these changes, especially a lot of people who are getting unemployment right now, and a lot of people are. You could check her out on her website. She's terrific at what she does. It is Arizona CPAs with an S.com. Her phone number direct, it's 480-964-4030. Call in here, get entered into win. She's a QuickBooks advisor as well. Give us a call here. So we're going to keep on talking because we're live on Facebook. So, you know, I know a lot of people, business owners that did talk, but it's again that they might not be getting the unemployment, but their children or someone know, you know, right?
That's true.
Right. So I think that's important. We'll bring that up when we get back too. You know, is there anything else? Am I missing anything?
Well, there's another thing with unemployment is that if people are over 150,000, they can't get that exclusion. But they just came out with a ruling, I think yesterday, that the unemployment is not included in the calculation of that 150,000.
Wow.
So if they're close to 150,000, maybe just over, they should.
Some people are getting 150,000 from unemployment.
No, from other
Oh
sources.
my God, I'm in.
Wow.
Maybe they got wages for part of the year, and then they got unemployment for part of the year,
Right.
and it just kicked them over that $150,000 limit. And it depends, you know. If you live in New York, 150,000 is nothing.
Right.
You
I
know.
know.
You know,
It's
everything's
here, even in LA, it's nothing.
even in California, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's different depending on where you live. So.
QuickBooks, I've tried it myself a couple years back, and that was a terrible idea. It was just, there were so many things you could do on there that I didn't know about that I had to like sit around and research myself, and I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this?
There's
Somebody who
a-
knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, there is a bit of a learning curve on QuickBooks.
Yeah.
They advertise it as being, if you can write a quick check, you can do QuickBooks, and well, maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot on there. There is definitely a lot.
Yeah.
And most people, like me, I have a phone. I don't probably use that phone like, you know, you probably do, right? Or
Well,
you.
yeah, freaking lit on it.
You know, I mean, there's things on it I'm sure I don't even know. My computer is another one, you know, that I probably don't even know, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, I'm pretty tech savvy.
Yeah, I think you are. I have a feeling,
Gotta be.
but that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, that's part of what got me into the business. Actually, my first boss in accounting wanted me to go into computers, and actually sent me to take some computer courses. Of course, all the information was outdated almost as soon as I finished it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I learned a lot about DOS, and DOS became passé like
So
immediately
fast.
after
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Here we go. Welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Anna von Straussenburg, and she is the owner of Anna von Straussenburg CPA. We've been talking, somebody sitting here, just right here, was talking about how they tried to do QuickBooks, and they said, well, I don't even know why I tried, because I didn't know half the stuff that was really there. And you said that there sure is a learning curve.
Yes, there's definitely a learning curve. There's many ways you can accomplish the same thing, and there's ways to do it better.
Right.
There's ways to really improve on your outcome in QuickBooks, and it's important to learn how to find the reports and read the reports.
So you see, this is why when you own a business, so many people that own businesses, we don't have even time for this. We really put our time, and so we don't even do it. or we try and do it and we're doing it wrong. So it's probably costing us where we don't even realize things. It not even just time, money, I'm sure, because of the mistakes that are made.
Oh, yeah, we charge to clean up the book, so as I do the work with my clients, I try to train them how to do it better, and they get better over the years.
I bet.
Well, most of them.
So here's what we're doing. We've got everyone getting entered into win. This is a tutorial for QuickBooks. She is a QuickBooks Pro advisor, and she's been doing this for 17 years. Not just the CPA. I'm talking about the advisor part of this, and so she will actually teach you. So you'll get a tutorial how it works, and it's going to be specific to you, so it's sort of customized to your needs, plus a consultation with that. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. You can check her out on her website. It's Arizona CPAs with an S.com. You can call her direct. Her phone number is 480-964-4030. She's rated with the Better Business Bureau. She's nationwide, and she does free consultations. Call in here, get entered into win. I think it's the first step, 602-277-5369. So I want to go back to, we were talking a little bit about unemployment, and I was like, I think we were talking on Facebook at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So hi to everybody out there, like us and follow us. But it's interesting because you were talking about, some people at 10,000 too, but then you're like, there's some people that are going into 150,000. And I said, well, I didn't know anybody was making that kind of money. And you explained to yourself to me. Go ahead.
Well, if somebody was also making wages and they got unemployment for a period of time, they could actually have gone over the $150,000 limit. Now the IRS came out recently and they said, well, if your income is over $150,000, but part of that is unemployment, the unemployment is not counted as part of the $150,000 limit. So I saw an example where somebody was at $152,000 and thought they couldn't exclude the $10,000, but once they subtracted out the unemployment, I think they got $12,000, they were below the limit, so they could exclude $10,200 of that.
See, so that's why you have to listen to the show to know what you can deduct, what you can't, right?
Yeah.
She's going to be back also April 1st. I know that we're coming back because, this is a big time for you people. This is your season coming up.
It is a busy time right now.
Of
Of course, they made it a little longer for us, but there are things you have to remember.
Okay, let's talk about it.
One of them is that the IRA deductions have not been extended out to May 17th.
Right, that's something that you brought up, and I think it's important because a lot of people who want to have those deductions, this is what it's all about. Right now, you had mentioned the last time you were on how it's wonderful that you can actually go up until April 15th and open up yourself a little IRA, and guess what? You got that as a deductible for your 2020 tax returns.
Oh, yes,
correct?
yes, you can deduct that.
But you have to remember now that just because you got that extension, that didn't include the extension on this, correct?
Yep.
I listen, I really do.
Yep, the IRA payment date isn't extended out yet. Now, hopefully the IRS will make it extended, but you gotta listen in on April 1st and see if there's been
You
any
never know. There
changes.
might be some changes, there might not. You never know. It's amazing how, I can't believe it. I mean, I'm having a lot of things going on right now, and I think about the world that we're living in today. I don't know if it was just as bad years ago or not, but it seems like everything today is just so difficult. Am I right or am I wrong?
It is, and I'm thankful for software because I don't think I could do my job anymore without it. I did pencil and paper when I very, very first started out. We did some of that.
Isn't that cool? That's so neat. Then you didn't probably erase a lot knowing you.
Yeah, I worked as a seasonal tax preparer when I was in college a little bit.
She's been into numbers all of her life. She has a sharp pencil. She's somebody you want to call. She's perfect for this season for you, especially as business owners, right? So the phone number to call her, it's 480-964-4030. This is the kind of person that you want behind you, working with you, so that you make sure that you do get all those deductions that you deserve. Nothing is it's all on the up and up. Making sure that you do, making sure you know your numbers. That's the other thing that you do, is making sure that people understand. And quarterly, this is something that's done quarterly, so that you are absolutely on top of things way before, so you don't even have to worry about anything. right?
That's correct. That's
Now,
correct.
check her out. It's at Arizona CPAs with an S.com. Call in here, get entered into win. She's going to teach you how to be a QuickBook Pro yourself. That's a tutorial that comes along with a consultation. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I think everyone should have that. You know, I think that's so important, is knowing your numbers. And it doesn't matter what size. You work with mostly small size businesses and medium sized businesses. It doesn't really matter. And doing it before things get bad, you know?
That's true.
Right?
It's important to do things before things get bad, because we can set you on the right track early on so that it doesn't take a ton of time to clean things up.
So let's talk a little bit about something else, okay? First of all, why do we have to pay these taxes in the first place, number one? And because you brought up some of these things. How much do you have to pay? How do we avoid these penalties?
Well, one of the good, important things to remember, the IRS, you know, when you get a W-2, you have withholding. So you're paying into your income taxes all year long, and then basically the income tax return is basically reconciling what was estimated via your withholding and the actual taxes paid. So, you know, people can either get a refund on their taxes, or they may owe a little bit. And usually there's not a penalty if you have a W-2, because, you know, unless you pull a fast one and don't take out enough, you should be close. Now with business owners, often they don't have W-2, so they have to estimate their income throughout the year. And if it's fairly consistent year to year, then you can rely on your previous year's taxes that you would have had to pay in total, let's say from 2020 for 2021. So you would basically take your total tax liability and divide it into 4 parts and pay it quarterly. April, June, September, and January 15th of the next year. They're always due on the 15th of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could pay that monthly. If your income changes, you can pay in 90% of your income during the year and not be subject to penalties. So there's two different things to look at: either your prior year, 100% of the prior year, or 90% of the current year. But if you're over 150,000, you have to pay in 110%.
So a lot of people, though, don't like to pay, right, too. They don't want to pay. They'll hold off paying. So they wait till they have to at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, but then that way they may be incurring penalties. And if you don't want to pay the IRS penalties and interest, make those payments quarterly. April 15th, June 15th, September 15th.
It's
and
easier
January
on
15th.
you.
It's easier.
Right. It actually is easier, even though you don't think so. It actually is easier on you. And if you are getting in penalties, then I'm sure they don't make them soft.
No, they don't. The estimated tax penalties aren't one of the worst ones, but you're still paying penalties, you're still paying interest, and it adds up.
Well, knowing your numbers, that's what it's about. Please tell people again, 3 times a year that you go in, you look at them, people know everything, that you teach them how to do QuickBooks.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So we usually start the year at mid-year. We look at the books through June 30th, and sometime in July, because we want the bookkeepers to have all their numbers ready. And then so in July, and then again in November, we look through the numbers all the way through October 31st, and we get a good projection of what the numbers are going to be, and then again at tax time.
And you are prepared, you know, and that's what first of all, she's got a sharp pencil. Like I said, she's a numbers lady all the way through and through. So she is going to make sure that you are getting the most deductives that you need. And also that she's going to make sure that you know your QuickBooks, know your numbers. She's going to teach you that. We're going to keep our lines open for everyone to call throughout the rest of the show to get entered into win. This is not only just a tutorial on this, but you're also going to get a free consultation with her. She's been doing the QuickBooks advising for 17 years. She was born in numbers, just it was in her blood. Our number here, 602-277-5369. Check her out. It's Arizona CPAs with an S.com.
Thank you.